All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of our monthly recap for Dex223. As always, we have the most important invitee of the day, Dexaran, CEO of Dex223. Today, he'll be here to answer any and all of your questions regarding the development and the project itself. Feel free to leave all your questions in the comments section of the X space. You're also welcome to join the show live during the questions and answers section of this monthly recap. And after all, if you want to participate in the community and still want your questions answered after the show, you can always post your questions in the Telegram of Dex223. All the links will be as a comment in the X space as well for the website, and the Telegram, you'll be able to find them there. We always collect your answers in the many different groups that exist for Dex223 in different languages. So always feel free to join the group that fits your language and community, and we'll have you and your questions answered at the next monthly recap. But always feel free to join the show. So for everyone listening to the show down the line, once it's posted on our YouTube channel, also feel free to find in the description of the video all the links that you need for the Telegram for every place that you can find Dex223 on. Without further ado, let's welcome our invitee of the day, Dexaran, for the latest news and monthly recap for Dex223. Hello, Dexaran.
Hello, everyone. So let's start with a small recap of what was done during this month. As I said earlier, this was mostly a month filled with bug reports and bug fixes. We were working with the prototype, and we did quite big progress on improving the prototype deployed on Ethereum testnet. We have fixed most of the bugs that were reported during the previous months, and I will publish the list of bug reports and what was already done in a written report. You can always find it on our page and on my GitHub also. So we will publish a list of all the reports and what is already fixed. And there were quite a lot of bugs. We received more than 100 bug reports, and most of them are already complete. We have deployed new tokens and the new token converter for the prototype, and it's already implemented in the UI. So if you were testing our previous version, you can find the new test tokens, and there is no big difference in how the tokens work, but we already improved the testing prototype so that you can request the test tokens right from the form. We have created the test pool so that there will be no situation like a user can join the test application and find that some pairs don't have a pool, and there is an error telling you that you can trade these tokens, and users don't understand what is going on, and they think that the prototype doesn't work, but they are just selecting the pair for which the token pool is not yet deployed. So we fixed it. For most of the pairs, the test pools are created, and we are preparing for the more public stage of the testing. This prototype was mostly a demo version, and it was for internal testing. We were testing it ourselves, and we are currently preparing for the public testing phase. We are not yet done with the smart contracts, but once we will finish the margin trading, there will be a massive bug bounty, I think. So we are making the final steps to prepare the prototype for this stage. And this is mostly done. We have also added the token listing UI. It is not currently live in the test application yet, but it will be added soon. We already have the UI completed. The front-end part, the design is completed, and the backend of the auto listing is completed. So the token listing UI will be updated and added to the testing soon. Also, the token trust rating UI is getting updated as well. It is also not yet done. In the live version, we will commit the changes most likely on Monday next week. But the trust rating is receiving an update, which is intended to show the difference between tokens with similar names. We have identified a problem that any user can add a token to the auto-listing contract. This is the design of our system, and it can happen that many tokens can have identical names. And this is not necessarily meaning that one of the tokens is a scam, but in some situation it can be this way, or some tokens can have identical names for some other reasons. And users need to understand which token is which so that they don't accidentally buy a wrong token on the mainnet. And this is quite important to clarify all the things. So we have implemented the token trust rating for this, assuming that if tokens have identical names, then most likely there is, for example, a real USDT, and someone created a token called USDT and added it to the exchange, hoping that someone will buy his fake USDT tokens. But actually on Ethereum mainnet, there are real tokens with identical names, and they are just two different tokens, none of which is a scam. They are just, for some reason, identical. And I mean, not completely identical, but they have similar names. And we need to mark these tokens somehow. And here comes the trust rating system. It will be indicating that there is a token with similar names, and we need to implement the trust rating in the token selection menu. We had a menu where users can choose a token for swap, and in this menu, trust rating was not calculated earlier. It was only calculated when the tokens are already selected and you are on the swap page. So we are changing it slightly so that you will be able to see the trust rating if it is low at the point where you select tokens.
So more security for the user to know which tokens are the good ones that he's looking for. Much better for the user in the end. Okay.
Yes. We are trying to prevent the situation where a user can see the fake tokens, which are trying to mimic another token, like fake USDC. And we are trying to warn the user about a situation where two tokens just have similar names and people can get confused with it and accidentally pick the wrong token. We have a small UI update related to the token portfolio. Token portfolio is not yet ready, but we are currently working on it. You will be able to see the progress on our Figma. I will be publishing it in the written report. We are going to add the token portfolio. This is quite a common feature, and most of the exchanges already have it. On our exchange, it will be mostly related to margin trading. You will be able to track your positions. You will be able to select position for trading from there. And this is not yet done, and we have not yet started to implement it in the front-end part, I think. So this is just the design stage. And the design is mostly completed, not 100%, but it is close to. We are currently re-implementing the test for the smart contracts. We have updated the smart contracts of the Uniswap. The Dex223 is based on the Uniswap version 3. We are re-implementing the test for their contracts so that it would cover our cases. And here we are also preparing for the public bug bounty. We are preparing for the audits that we will conduct before the deployment on the Ethereum mainnet. So this is just a technical update. I would say that there was some progress with the EIP editors discussion on Ethereum. You can find it on the GitHub if you are interested. I will most likely include it in the written report as well. Basically, we have proposed to add a warning on ERC20 standard. We have proposed to change the method of handling vulnerability discussions in Ethereum improvement proposals, and they have a call for input for this right now. So you can observe the discussion. You can maybe vote on this, but your vote will not count. The votes of Ethereum EIP editors are counted only, from what I know. So if you are an Ethereum EIP editor, this is a good chance for you to participate, but if you're not, you can just observe. Maybe we will have some progress in this area. This is mostly related to Ethereum community, not just us, but we are part of it, so we are working on it. We have started the testing on other networks. Our prototype was already deployed on Binance Smart Chain testnet. It's already there. There are no problems with it. We have deployed a prototype on EOS EVM testnet. The previous version was working smoothly, but the current deployment, we were updating the contract slightly, and the latest version has some problems. We are currently debugging this, and we are preparing to deploy on EOS EVM, and it works slightly different from what we expected from an EVM chain. So we need to address some problems here, and we are currently working on it. Also, a small but important update: the private sale is closed. You will not be able to buy the tokens from the private sale anymore, and we will publish the statement on the private sale once it's ready, I think in a couple of weeks. But the most important, you can't buy tokens from the private sale anymore. A technical update related to the smart contracts. We have re-implemented the swap router. The previous version of the swap router fully supported the ERC20 tokens, and it partially supported the ERC-223 tokens, which means that you were able to configure the slippage tolerance and the deadline for ERC20 tokens, but not for ERC-223 tokens. This was just an early version, and right now we have a final version which supports the slippage tolerance and other properties like deadline for ERC-223 tokens as well. This is just a technical update, and we are completing the support of the ERC-223 standard as it should be in the final version. I think that's it. This was the month mostly related to the tuning of the prototype. We are finalizing stuff that was already done, and we are fixing the bugs, we are preparing for the public bug bounties, we are finalizing the smart contracts, we are writing tests, we are preparing for the audits for the smart contracts, and we are finalizing the auto listing, token portfolio, all these quality of life features. The next big steps would be the DAO implementation, the governance system, the system of distributing the revenues. This is not yet completed, and honestly, this is not yet worked on even. But this is also an important part of the Dex223, and we will be working on it once all the core features are done. We will be opening the Callisto migration soon. There was an early sale of tokens on the Callisto chain, and there are still tokens on Callisto chain, but those are not real Dex223 tokens. The real tokens will be on Ethereum mainnet, and we will be converting the tokens from Callisto mainnet to Ethereum mainnet tokens next month, most likely.
That was actually a question from the community that we collected this month, if the tokens were from Callisto chain were going to be converted. So thank you for the answer already.
Yeah, these tokens will definitely be converted. They will be transformed into Ethereum tokens, most likely through the proof of burn process. So we will require you to send your tokens on Callisto to some address, and once you do this, you will receive tokens on Ethereum. And next big step will be the margin trading implementation. We already have the margin trading UI design templates in Figma. It is not yet implemented in frontend because the frontend developers were doing all the stuff that I described for the past 15 minutes. They were working on the prototype. So once we will catch up with this, and once the front-end developers will start working on the margin trading, we will also start the implementation of the margin trading smart contracts. And this is the next and the final big feature of Dex223 that we are going to have. And once we are done with the margin trading, I think we will have another big stage of bug fixing, because margin trading is quite sophisticated feature, and we will need to test it properly before going live with it. But after that, the Dex223 platform is completed, and we will be able to proceed to the next stage where we will be deploying on mainnet.
Oh, that's great news. And a quick reminder for everyone who maybe doesn't speak English, this whole event and monthly recap is going to be posted on the Dex223 YouTube channel, where you'll be able to select a translation live for any and all of your languages. So feel free to join back on our YouTube channel, Dex223, to find the whole recording of the event translated into your language. And we have collected many questions from the community from the past month, which includes one question from a community member asking, I think many people, including myself, are interested in this project and its promising features. However, to invest a decent amount, I'd like to know if there are already financially strong backers, such as VCs, who can provide the necessary stability and liquidity for the launch phase. It would be great to get some concrete names or entities to increase credibility for the project. There was one question from one of our community members on Dex223.
I would say that we mostly have funds from the public sales that we collected. There was no round for VCs, and there are no big VC backers in our project yet. So unfortunately, I have nothing to add here. Our funds came from public sales, not from VCs.
It's also a good thing to know that the whole funds are from the community members. A community of decentralized exchange is good, at least. And another question was: Is there already a list of projects willing to list their tokens on Dex223? What are the requirements and options for project to list? Even if it's quite free to list on Dex223, are there requirements? And is there already some projects willing to list their tokens? Do they need to provide liquidity themselves? And if so, how much is necessary?
Well, there are no listing requirements. I would say that there are many ways of listing your token on Dex223. We have token lists, and they are also different. There will be a default list of tokens, and in order to get there, you just list the tokens. You need to interact with the team, basically with us. You will need to provide some information about your project, and most likely already existing well-known tokens will be on this default list. So USDT, USDC, BNB, and maybe others. You can also list in a token lists project of Uniswap. They allow anyone like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, those providers of the token information to keep a list of tokens in some format, and everyone can download it from there, or just specify their token list as a source of tokens in a decentralized exchange. And our exchange is no different here. We will support this method as well. So if you want to list your token on Dex223, you can just list it on CoinGecko and get added to the CoinGecko token list. And you will be able, not you, but users will be able to enable the CoinGecko token list in the Dex223 UI, and they will be able to see your tokens once it's listed in the CoinGecko token list. And there will be auto listing contracts. They will be different from one another. There will be free auto listing tokens, and they will be filled with some, I would say, shady tokens. Like everything can be added there, and you need to be careful with what you are trading. But if you know what you are doing, you can just enable the free auto listing contract, and you will be fine with it if you can do your diligence on the tokens. And there will be paid auto listing contracts. You will need to pay some amount of fee to get listed there, but we expect that there will be much less meme tokens and other tokens with questionable reputation, I would say, in this token list, because someone needs to pay in order to get there. And there can be customized listing contracts created by anyone else. So YouTubers, influencers, and other opinion leaders can create their listing contracts. They can charge you money or just add tokens themselves based on how they think tokens need to be listed. And you will be able to import their token list, and you will be able to see all the tokens that they decided to list there. So there are different methods of listing on Dex223, and some of them don't have any requirements, like free auto listing contracts. Anyone can list a token here, and it's free. Aside of the network cost, you need to call transaction, and sometimes on Ethereum it can be quite expensive. On EOS and other networks, it will be much less expensive. So Can you repeat the question, please?
That already answers it quite well. The question was there any requirements for project to list tokens? And you said there were some that didn't require anything. Are there some listing features that require something from the project?
Yes, and there was a question regarding the tokens that already want to list with us, I think.
Is there already a list of projects willing to list their tokens on Dex223, right?
Yeah. No, I think that we don't have a list of tokens that will be listed on Dex223 straight from the start. But there were some token team members contacting me, and I had some discussions with them already. For example, we are going to support the Euro stablecoin, ERC, and a few other projects as well. But we don't have a list of projects that will be willing to provide liquidity on our exchange yet. I think we will be working on this kind of partnerships closer to the start, when we will have a margin trading prototype ready, so that we can show them that on our exchange this is possible, and this is also possible, and they will be able to try it themselves, because right now the margin trading is not yet done.
It will be much better once it's done, yeah. Show them, actually. And if you're in the X space right now, I'm willing to ask a question directly to Dexaran. Feel free to raise your hand in the Twitter space, and we'll give you a voice to ask questions directly. You're also welcome to leave your questions as a comment on the X space, and it'll be my pleasure to relay that question to Dexaran. Another question that we had from the community this month was actually related to what we were talking about the project. The question was, do you still have a lot of fans from your past endeavors and projects? What is your strategy to get your old crowd to support this new project as well? So you said you've been in contact with other projects, maybe your old projects also as well, old communities. What's the plan to use all your efforts and all your past users and communities to support this new project?
Well, I think that most of the users who already support me are already aware of the Dex223. I'm not doing anything special in this direction. I'm just describing the strategy of Dex223 for everyone, and it's kind of similar for everyone who was following me from the times when I was the Ethereum Classic developer, and everyone who is new here. So we are doing the same things as we always do. We are trying to be transparent. There is financial transparency in Dex223, just like it was in the Ethereum Classic development team. And I think it's quite important in decentralized projects to be financially transparent with investors, because they give money and you need to provide them with information of how you use it. There are monthly reports, as you can see right now. There is a monthly recap, and there will be a written report. And we are working openly as well. So we have open source codes. You can observe what we're doing on GitHub, and that's it. So basically, we are trying to be as transparent as possible. And I think that's enough.
That's the best any project can do, indeed. And that was all the community questions that we gathered for this month of July. And if you're listening to this YouTube recording down the line, feel free to find in the description of the video the link to the Telegram of Dex223. If you want, you can leave all your questions there. We'll answer that directly on the Telegram. But also feel free to leave them there, and we'll collect them and maybe have them answered by Dexaran himself at the next monthly recap. So feel free to do just that. And since that was all the questions that we gathered, maybe if you have some closing words or things you want to say to the community for the bigger reminders and alpha to get from this past monthly recap.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone who participated in the Dex223 prototype testing. This was very valuable for us, and we received a lot of reports. There was not that much transaction count on the testnet as we can observe. So I think that most of the testers are the same people, but they were very active and they provided us with a lot of bug reports and a lot of information about their experience with Dex223 prototype. And this is very valuable for us. We are closely working with the community on solving this, and thank you, everyone. Also, thank you, everyone, for listening, for being here. We are doing our best to provide you with information about the state of the project, and we are trying to attract people to participate in the, not in the development exactly, we don't have development positions in the team, but in the public testing stage. We don't need the testers right now, but once the margin trading is deployed, we will need even more testers and early adopters. So if you are interested in the project, you can participate here. And we will have the bug bounties open in the near future, so stay tuned and wait for the updates. Also, I'm writing the report on 4th each month. It will be published. This month is no exception. There will be some details that I can share in the ERC recap on Twitter, because there will be some links, there will be some GitHub threads, maybe there will be some code fragments. So if you are more technical, if you are interested in the project and you want to read it, you can find it on our page, dex223.io/development. Thank you, everyone.
Indeed, thank you, everyone. And feel free to join the Telegram of Dex223 to have all your questions answered and join the project, testing, and more. And if you, again, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Dexaran, for again making yourself available to answer the community questions. We'll close up for today and see you at the next monthly recap. Stay tuned, everyone. Go Dex223.